Hello, Klaus here, and welcome back to yet another video here at the channel. In today's video, we are going to have a look at how to make a product shot like this look a lot better using very simple steps out in the studio. So without further ado, let's jump right out in the studio and have a look at what we can do to create this bottle shot and make it look a lot better. So let's go out in the studio. Okay, so before we can start to shoot, we need to take our bottle here and clean it. We need to clean it from fingerprints, dust, and very important, if we are talking about using like this transparent glass here with this is like tonic water inside. On the back of many of those bottles are actually a label, and we need to peel that off, scrape it off, do whatever necessary to get that off, because we're going to see it through the glass, of course. So that is the first thing to do. Clean up your product and make it look beautiful. Next thing to do would be to add some sort of light. Of course, you could use natural light, but if you want to step up your bottle shots a little bit, you need to add in some kind of lights. This could be all sorts of light, but the most useful light would be some kind of a diffused light, either with a softbox or something like that. You could also add a second light to give some kind of ambient color or whatever you like. You have now added your light to your bottle, but as you can see on the bottle, it's going to have this very hard light and it doesn't really look that pleasing to the eye. So one thing, and this is a great trick you could use, is to use a diffusion material. So I am using a Lee diffusing filter, which is very good, and as you see right here on the shot, it's going to actually make this hard light very soft, and it's going to look pretty darn good in my opinion. So you have now added light and you have diffused the material. One thing to make, for instance, a bottle like this look way more cool is to add water to make it look fresh, cool, and ready to drink. More tasty, I guess. And you can do this very simple by adding water with a little spray, like I'm doing right here. Also, there's a tip: if you put in water and mix that with glycerin, it's going to not run as much, but for the shots I do, I like to see these running drops because it also adds in movements into the shot. Talking about movements, remember to add movements into your shots. This can be done in different ways, either by rotating the product using something like a lazy Susan, a turning table, whatever, to make that product spin, and then to give it a little extra spice, you could actually just in post add the zoom in from the camera to the spinning object, so you're going to create that kind of movement. Or you could use something like a 360 spinning table, and I did do a video about 360 spinning table, so if you want to know more about that, you can have a look right up here in the top corner. Also, a slider is a great option. Also, if you want to create this effect where you are moving towards your product and it goes into focus, that is really hard nailing the focus when you're doing, for instance, handheld and you have to do the focus manually. So a thing you could do is to start by finding the focus and then move backwards, and then in post we are just going to reverse the clip, so it's going to move from out of focus to focus. That's a little hack if you want to make the camera move and go into focus. A bonus tip is also to add music to your shot. It doesn't really have to be like popular music or anything. Actually, you can go a long way just by adding ambient sound and emphasizing the different sounds. For instance, sounds of drops. How are that going to sound if it's very close? That's going to give a big impact on your shot as well. There are many sites where you can find music and sound effects. I am using Audiio. It is a great resource. However, there is also free places, but my favorite way of actually doing that is to pick up my Zoom H6 recorder and record the sounds myself. It is a little bit more time consuming, but it is also a bit more rewarding at the end. So that's all for this video. I do hope you found this little video useful. If you did, please hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, share it with your friends if you think it would help them out. And if you want to be notified every time there's another video on the channel, please hit that bell icon down in the corner. Until next time, keep filming, keep learning, and keep sharing.